In today's news, forensic results identify skeleton remains as Walter Todman, and the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force is seeking the public's assistance in locating two men, and temporary work permit for festival vendors to be processed within 2 to 3 days, and 4 softball teams selected for the historic Inaugural All-Stars event. Well, viewers, these and more stories when 284 News return.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, I can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you,
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What's your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Well, welcome everyone. It's Thursday, July 21st, 2022. I'm Kamal Haynes, coming to you live from the beautiful British Virgin Islands. I want to thank you all so much for joining us. Well, we start today's newscast with an update from the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, where the skeleton remains, which were found in a gut leading to Brewers Bay in December 2021, have been positively identified as 83-year-old Walter Todman, who was reported missing back in 2018. Well, this was confirmed by the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force on Thursday, July 21st, where the police revealed that forensic results proved that DNA samples taken from a skull found at the scene were a 99% match to Todman's siblings. Well, in December 2021, police said that hikers in the Brewers Bay area discovered the skull near to a gut, which led approximately 600 yards downhill from Todman's home. Well, a pair of trousers matching the description of the ones he was last seen wearing found approximately 100 feet away. Those were found 100 feet away. Well, the police also disclosed that a missing report for Todman was issued in September 2018. They said, and I quote, Walter Todman, 83, was reported missing from his Todman estate home on 15 December 2018 by family members. For 2 weeks following the report, police, Virgin Islands Search and Rescue, and several other search teams extensively combed through the area around his home and the steep hillside below with the use of the K9 team and drones, but he was not found, end quote. But the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force said his family members have been updated on the forensic findings. Moving on, viewers, where the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force are seeking the public's assistance in locating 2 missing men who were reportedly last seen boarding a vessel. Well, viewers, they are Kevin Walker and Cleo Foster Williams Jr., who, according to their families, have not been seen since Sunday, July 17th. But the police said they received separate reports that both men boarded a vessel at Hodges Creek on Sunday and have not been seen since. Walker, who resides in Parham Town, was last seen wearing a pair of light jeans, those light blue jeans, and a white or gray t-shirt. He is described as dark in complexion, with braided hair and a tattoo on his forearm, and is said to frequent the Moose Bar and Sound Road Alley. Well, the police also said that no description has been provided thus far for Williams. Following the reports, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force said that officers of the Marine Branch as well as the Virgin Islands Search and Rescue made general searches of the territory's waters for the boat described as red and yellow. Well, they said that searches continued yesterday, and police are asking anyone with information on the whereabouts of Walker and Williams to contact the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force via its 3-digit access number, that is 311, or call the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force's Intelligence Unit at 368-9339. Well, captains and boarders are also asked to be on the lookout while traveling through the territory's waters. Now, moving on, viewers, where temporary work permit applications for vendors operating within the festival grounds for the Emancipation Festival will be processed within a 2 to 3 day period. Well, this is according to the Minister for Labor, Honorable Melvin Mitch Turnbull, who made a disclosure during a recent interview with 284 News, when the minister sought to encourage those employers with temporary employees who will be required a new work permit to commence the process as soon as possible.
What the department issued in terms of their statement is something that has been done over the years. So we're just asking questions to comply. The process, because the festival starts, I think at the end of this week or early next week, I believe. What we're asking questions to do is get in early with their applications so that we can have them processed within a 2 to 3 day period. Anything that needs to be done additionally in terms of getting the paperwork done, we have persons in the Labor Department that will be facilitating specific to those requests for festivals. So we don't want to make it prohibited. All that it was happening is the commissioner and her team reiterated what the law says according to the Virgin Islands Labor Code, and it is something that has been happening over the years. So we just want persons to be reminded to just be in compliance with the law.
Well, Minister Turnbull also said that inspectors from the Department of Labor and Workforce Development will be conducting inspections on the booths to ensure all vendors are in compliance with the law.
The inspectors from the department will be just going out to do checks and ensuring that persons are in compliance with the laws. It is not, and I don't want it to be viewed as one that is deterring persons from earning a living or persons from hampering the festival spirit. It is just one that we keep in compliance with the law as we go through and continue to grow in this territory. That is the purpose for the statement. If you go back in years, it has been something that has been done and complied with the business owners and the food operators within the territory.
Well, Turnbull also addressed the category of persons who will require temporary work permits during the festival period.
If they're under the same employer in the booth, the question is then determined based on the type of work that's being done. So if you're on a food service work permit under the same employer, then you won't have to apply for a new permit. This is specific to those persons who are employed otherwise. So you might want to help me out, Kamal, as a news reporter, help me out in my booth with my bar or whatever the case may be. Then you will be required to just get a temporary license for that time period.
Well, viewers, the 2022 Emancipation Festival is set to commence on Wednesday, July 27th. Well, up next, viewers, 4 softball teams selected for the historic Inaugural All-Stars event, and Penn tells the House of Assembly this is not the time to fight against each other. But these and more stories after a word from our sponsors.
You value traditions. You value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch and you don't say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe.
These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today.
Welcome back, viewers. With the 4 teams for the Virgin Islands Softball and Baseball Association's inaugural All-Stars event have been selected following the team draft extravaganza on Wednesday. Well, in the first of its kind, players were selected for the East and West teams in both the men's and women's division. In the men's division, the captains selected for the East team are Honorable Neville Smith and Jamal Allen. With the full team for the East read, Rafael Rabsat, Jake Hopkins, Junior Rodriguez, KJ Thompson, Ramos Hatchett, Josh Ridgway, Victor Faulkner, Cesar Gabriel, Jamarly James, Kennard Dawson, Yervis Rodriguez, Fernando Sidano, and Shamari Robinson. But the captains for the West team are Jeremy Penn and Alan Smith. But the West team includes Rico Penn, Shahid Collins, Uriz Robles, Ronnie Skelton, Shamoli Dugu, Jamori Dugu, TCS Fret, Nashwanta Smith, Ron Hatchett, Alfonso Tejeda, Daniel Davies, Sheldon John, and Jeffrey Cruz. Meanwhile, in the women's division, the captains selected for the East team are Chloe Scatliff and Shamora Penn Maduro. Well, viewers, that full East team include Felissa Brathwaite, Tia Cook, Akira Phillip, Denicia Hodge, Kyra Powell, Shalik Kofoy, Kamaya Mateus, Rhea Durant, Kristen Letsam, Siobhan Richardson, and Shani Watley. Well, the captains for the women's West team are Javelin Fret and Bria Smith. Well, the players selected for the West team are Jaleesa Potter, Kenisha Stout, Makeda Foy, Marissa Malone, Celine Thomas, Shariah Romney, Anisha Graham, Melanie Stout, Kim Tokushi, Sherna Robinson, Debbie Ridgway, and Daria Malone. But 284 News spoke to the president of the Virgin Islands Softball and Baseball Association, Mr. Ronnie Skelton, on the historic occasion. He explained that a draft and basically how the respective players were selected.
Let me start there. West and East is just a title. It doesn't mean that the players or the team had to come from the eastern part of the BVI or the western part. We just put a moniker on the 2 teams. Based on what we selected, we looked at minimum 15 at-bats for men. That's a statistic. Minimum 10 at-bats for women. And we looked at offensive output. Who had the most hits? Who had the most home runs? You know, maybe the top 5 in hits, top 5 in home runs, top 5 in batting average. Who scored the most runs? Who batted in the most runs? And we kind of drafted a team around that. Then we looked at the pitching. Well, who are the top 3 or 4 pitchers for the season? And then we started to fill in some gaps, position players and things like that. There's always the eye test, where maybe a person's statistics wasn't quite there, but you looked at them and they were catching amazing catches out there in the field along that line. So we put some people in, and we're not perfect. Turn to your camera, we're not perfect. We know that there are some other players who you can make an argument for and say maybe those people should have been All-Stars, didn't quite make it. Tonight, all we did, alternating a selection, so we had 2 captains for the East, 2 captains for the West, men and women. And they picked and they went through and they did their research. Well, I need a pitcher. I need a hitter. Well, you can't have a pitcher without a catcher. And so there were some strategies that were involved, and they simply alternated. They selected their teams, and come, July 31st, that Sunday, we'll have a female All-Star game based on the teams that were selected tonight, and then a male All-Star game as well.
Well, Skelton also spoke on the origins of the initiative.
Everybody wants to be recognized. When you perform exceptionally, you want to be recognized. It's not unlike in any other sport, whether basketball, baseball, cricket. You have those players who played a level above. Now, we had some players who did really, really well this year. new names that people may not have been familiar with that this year had a really great season. And then some of our more veteran names that you would have been used to maybe did not have as much of a stellar year. Nonetheless, we wanted to recognize players, male and female, who this year exceeded in the regular season.
Well, the president further said that with the All-Stars games being a new staple in the softball community, it will act as an incentive for players to perform more consistently to make the list in the coming years.
Listen, I have gotten my head chewed off. For people who felt they should have been on the team, they're looking and saying, well, maybe this person should not have been on the team. And even though, I mean, it's a little frustrating and it's a little rough for myself and the association, but it says that we're on the right path. It means that players are actively looking forward to being recognized for their stellar play. So it tells me that we are on the right path with having this All-Star selection the way we did it tonight, and having the All-Star weekend coming up. It means that next year the anticipation is going to be even higher.
Well, Skelton also spoke about the impact that the All-Stars event will have on the future development of the sport across the territory.
We're trying to bring it back. Softball is the national sport of the BVI. I'll be just like any other person in the softball family. We will say over the years it has dipped a little bit in terms of fan attendance. Softball is centered around pitching. Pitching governs everything. If you go back to the days of Bert Henley and Elmo Connor and Ellie Henley, those were the days when softball games would finish and the score is 2-1, 3-2. And games were pitching duels. Those pitchers would pitch double headers, take a little break, have a drink, have something to eat, and pitch again. Those were the heydays of BVI softball. We're talking about the 80s, when we had a team that came fourth place, just shy of medaling against great countries like New Zealand and USA and Canada. And we kind of fell off over the years, and I'll be one of the first to admit it. We're bringing it back. You come around the field on an average weekend and there are people all over from all walks of life who are now enjoying softball. And it's a testament to our fallen soldier in Terence Shinnery, who helped to groom a lot of the players that you're seeing now. We have the industrial league that's starting to feed people who think they have talent. Like, you look like a guy who might be in a little bit of shape. Maybe you could come out on the park, play a little thing. Well, we start you off in the industrial league. And then before you know it, you had an excellent industrial league, which the pitching is a little bit slower. And then you matriculate up into the national league. So we're seeing that just from this year alone, the excitement, everything is building. We're bringing softball back.
Well, the All-Stars games will commence on Sunday, July 31st at approximately 5 p.m. Moving on, viewers, where Minister for Health and Social Development Honorable Marlon Penn has expressed that this is not the time for members of the House of Assembly to be arbitrary in terms of their discourse surrounding the Commission of Inquiry report. But Penn noted that in order to move the territory back onto the trajectory that its forefathers had fought for, there must first be an acceptance of the reality that the events of April 28th and the incidents which had led up to that day did in fact occur. Well, only with this in mind, he said, can members meet their obligations to address the contentious issues surrounding the COI recommendations.
Mr. Speaker, we were at the verge of having our democracy suspended, having decisions for this country being made by one individual in a few chosen individuals. Just to put this in perspective, in the last general election, we had 15,000 registered voters. We had 9,720 persons that actually exercised their democratic right to elect the people that they would like to see lead their country. That's 64% of the registered voters of that time in 2019, Madam Speaker. That A1 decision would have taken away the dreams and aspirations and the privilege that those persons have.
Well, Penn told the House of Assembly that this debate is a milestone at which they are required to fight for this country as the forefathers fought for progress and greater self-determination in the BVI. Well, he said now is the time after all the talk for there to be more forward. Well, Penn noted that there are areas of the COI that, because of how they are stated, can be misinterpreted or misunderstood by the members of the public. He added that this is why it is important for proper discussions to be had surrounding these areas in the House of Assembly.
We have an obligation as elected people of this territory to ensure that this is upheld, to ensure that the desires of the people of this territory, who have the 9,000 plus people that entrusted their votes in the 12 of us, 13 of us, and 12 of us who are here now, to ensure that we preserve their right to self-determine, to steer their own direction, to govern their own affairs, through us, through their elected representative. And that's what patriots do. They put aside their differences, they focus on the people and what is in the best interest of the people. That's why you have a complexion here that you see right now, not in terms of skin, but complexion in terms of our focus on the country.
Although he admitted that even at the level of cabinet, there are often strongly contrasting views on decisions to be made, Penn noted that this does not stop the ball from rolling.
When brothers fight to death, a stranger inherits their land. I want to say that again. When brothers fight to death, a stranger inherits their land. Mr. Speaker, I was not prepared for a stranger to inherit my land. We determined, we sat down, and I have to say this, Mr. Speaker, I think it's important for us to go back because BVI is a peculiar place. We tend to, we have a spirit of misrepresentation, and sometimes the facts get distorted.
While deterring his fellow members from falling into a blame game surrounding the issues of the territory, he asked that they instead acknowledge and act upon the responsibilities that they have been granted by the BVI people. Well, viewers, up next, the BVI Mental Health Unit launches Time to Change anti-stigma campaign. We get to that story after a word from our sponsors.
You value traditions. You value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Well, welcome back, viewers. We jump straight into some international news where Hasta la vista, baby was the unexpected last words of the United Kingdom's Prime Minister Boris Johnson as he addressed the Parliament for the final time in this capacity. But Johnson, who received a standing ovation from the attending members of Parliament, used his final speech to review his leadership over the past few years, which he described as a mission largely accomplished.
And yes, the last few years have been the greatest privilege of my life. And it's true that I helped to get the biggest Tory majority for 40 years and a huge realignment in UK politics, Mr. Speaker. We've transformed our democracy and restored our national independence, as my right honourable friend says. I've helped to get this country through a pandemic and helped save another country from barbarism. And frankly, that's enough to be going on with. Mission largely accomplished. For now.
Well, in his final moments, Johnson also gave some advice to his successor, who will be named when the House of Commons returns from its summer recess on September 5th.
I want to use the last few seconds, Mr. Speaker, to give some words of advice to my successor, whoever he or she may be. Number one, stay close to the Americans, stick up for the Ukrainians, stick up for freedom and democracy everywhere. Cut taxes and deregulate wherever you can to make this the greatest place to live and invest, which it is. I love the Treasury, but remember that if we'd always listened to the Treasury, we wouldn't have built the M25 or the Channel Tunnel. Focus on the road ahead. Focus on the road ahead, but always remember to check the rear view mirror. And remember, above all, it's not Twitter that counts. It's the people that sent us here.
Well, despite Johnson's tease that this was a job well done for now, his press secretary has denied rumors that he's already eyeing a political comeback. Well, following his farewell, Johnson is expected to venture into writing, journalism, and public speaking. But it is rumored that a group of conservative associations intend to protest Johnson's eviction by placing his name on the leadership ballot in the upcoming election. Well, viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye-bye.
Yo, everything good there? Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, I can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this thing like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What's your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun to people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?